What's the difference between left-wing culture and right-wing culture? I reckon about 20 years. When it comes to social issues and politics, the role of the left is to break down the existing social hierarchy, to include people who have previously been excluded, to embrace difference, and to dissolve borders and boundaries. The role of the right, on the other hand, is to maintain existing social hierarchies, to preserve tradition, and in doing so, create stability. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a political anthropologist to realise that if both left and right are functioning as they should, over time, a paradox arises. You see, over time, the things that were once revolutionary and controversial and deconstructing the existing social hierarchy become traditional. They become the only way of being that people have ever known. A recent example of this was when we lost these two legends, Paul O'Grady and Lily Savage. And when Paul and Lily died, it didn't take long for people on the right to come out and start praising the entertainment that these two legends have provided over many decades. Some even used Paul O'Grady's life and work as a basis for attacking trans people, arguing that he showed that a man could be feminine, could put on a dress, could act like a woman without calling himself transgender. But of course, we all know who was attacking gay men like Paul O'Grady in the 1980s, and it wasn't trans people, it was the very people who are now praising him and using him to attack trans people, because trans people are now the new revolutionary thing in the way that gay people were in the 1980s. But perhaps the best example of this cultural shift is this guy. And I don't mean literally this guy, I mean the guy that this guy is portraying. Jesus Christ was a socialist Jew who hung out with beggars and prostitutes and talked about how it was more difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven than it is to fit a camel through the eye of a needle. The right-wing people who now decry the decline of Christianity in the Western world are the very people who would have been most horrified by Jesus Christ's actual politics. Jesus Christ didn't say build the wall or stop the boats. Jesus Christ said that we should love foreigners and refugees and prisoners and the homeless and the poor as if they were Jesus Christ himself. If you want to know who will win any particular battle in the culture wars, you only need to look at history. Time and time again, we have insisted that black people shouldn't be allowed to drink from the water fountain, that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, that gay people shouldn't be allowed to get married. And time again, the backlash only really begins once those ideas are properly taking root in society. We then examine these ideas, we argue and we fight over them, and we discover again and again that there really is no threat from people who live their lives differently from the way that we do. The groups of people who currently seem scary and threatening will over time become traditional as other groups have before them. And when that happens, left and right will be able to move forwards together.